Good evening. Tonight, we turn to the Persian Gulf, where a tense but almost surreal encounter unfolded between an Iranian Navy helicopter and a United States destroyer, the USS Fitzgerald. What began as a routine patrol quickly turned into a case study in military mismatches, propaganda, and the quiet confidence of American naval power. Setting the scene at approximately 10:50 local time, an Iranian helicopter closed in on the USS Fitzgerald. Its mission, to pressure the American destroyer into changing course and to showcase Iran's supposed dominance in these contested waters. But what followed revealed a striking imbalance between 21st century naval warfare and Cold War equipment. Inside the Combat Information Center aboard the Fitzgerald, sailors monitored their radar screens. These weren't ordinary radars. They are part of the Aegis Combat System, one of the most advanced naval defense networks in the world, capable of tracking ballistic missiles in space. And on this day, that system was locked onto a decades-old helicopter relic from the 1970s, trying to intimidate a 10,000-ton warship. The mismatch. Let's put this into perspective. The USS Fitzgerald, an R. Lee Burke-class destroyer, carries 90 vertical launch missiles, can exceed speeds of 30 knots, and generates over 100 shaft horsepower from its turbine engines. It's built to fight in high-intensity wars, tracking and defeating dozens of supersonic threats simultaneously. By contrast, the Iranian helicopter, an export variant purchased from the U.S. before the 1979 Islamic Revolution, struggled to keep up with its own mechanics. Warning lights flickered in the cockpit, rotor bearings rattled from decades of wear, its engines, dating back to the Johnson administration, wheezed to maintain altitude. The difference was staggering. Intelligence goldmine for the Americans, this wasn't a threat. It was an opportunity. The Fitzgerald's electronic warfare suite began cataloging every signal emitted by the Iranian helicopter: radar pulses, radio frequencies, even navigation beacons. Each emission was logged into a threat library. Why does this matter? Because next time U.S. forces encounter the same type of aircraft, they'll know exactly which frequencies to jam, which signals to spoof, and how to blind its sensors. What the Iranians thought was a show of force became, in reality, a free intelligence seminar for the U.S. Navy. The helicopter's crew, meanwhile, continued to broadcast on open, unencrypted channels, including civilian emergency frequencies. Every word, every warning was recorded. Sailors aboard the Fitzgerald reportedly chuckled as they listened, even assigning a female sailor to respond over the radio just to irritate their would-be adversaries. The close pass, as the helicopter dropped to just 500 feet above the waves in a mock attack profile, American sailors on deck barely looked up. Some continued routine maintenance. One even waved casually at the Iranian crew, as if greeting tourists. To the Fitzgerald's fire control systems, this was nothing more than a slow-moving dot on the radar. The close-in weapon system, capable of unleashing 45,000 rounds per minute, tracked the helicopter but never even raised its barrels. Why? Because engaging this aircraft would have been like using a supercomputer to play tic-tac-toe. Still, for the Iranians, this mission wasn't about combat, it was about content. State television needed footage to show their force is standing up to American warships. A recording of the pilot's radio warnings, combined with grainy video of the destroyer, could be spun into a narrative of defiance and victory. The reality check, but reality was less dramatic. The helicopter was rapidly burning fuel, its engines showing signs of failure. The pilot and crew, staring at gauges slipping into the red zone, had perhaps 45 minutes of flight time left before they'd be forced to return home or worse, require a rescue mission themselves. Meanwhile, the Fitzgerald adjusted its course not in response to Iranian threats, but simply as part of its land navigation. Yet to Iranian state media, this routine maneuver would soon be presented as proof that the mighty U.S. Navy had been forced to retreat. In the end, the incident was less a clash of militaries than a clash of narratives. The U.S. Navy walked away with valuable intelligence, a reaffirmation of its overwhelming superiority, and even a bit of humor. Iran, meanwhile, gained a propaganda clip for domestic audiences. It was a reminder that modern naval warfare isn't always about missiles and guns. Sometimes, it's about perception, information, and the stories nations tell about themselves. And in this case, those stories couldn't be more different. At about 10:50 local time, an Iranian Navy helicopter approached the USS Fitzgerald, aiming to force a course change and assert control over the waters, while inside the ship's combat center sailors reacted with a mix of amusement and disbelief. The Fletcher-class destroyer's advanced Aegis radar, designed for tracking ballistic missiles, effortlessly monitored the aging helicopter, an antiquated flying museum piece. The USS Fitzgerald, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, boasts 90 vertical launch missiles reaching over 90 nautical miles, 4 turbines delivering 100,000 shaft horsepower, speeds over 30 knots, and the capability to track 100+ targets while guiding many missiles. The helicopter was automatically classified by the ship's systems as a low-threat 1970 Sierra anti-submarine platform. The fire control system had already run dozens of engagement scenarios, and its wartime could fired within 30 seconds. The ship's SLQ-32 electronic warfare suite began collecting a detailed electromagnetic fingerprint of the helicopter's emissions radar pulses, radio transmissions with future jamming/spoofing applications in mind. The narrative underscores the vast technological mismatch. Each SM-2 missile is worth more than the helicopter and travels at Mach 3.5. The aging Iranian aircraft with Vietnam-era radar was clearly outclassed. U.S. sailors treated the encounter as an intelligence win. Tracking the helicopter was described as Christmas morning for the information warfare officer. Aside from updating threat libraries, the engagement posed no real danger. The helicopter's radio warning American warship, "You are approaching Iranian territorial waters. Change course immediately," was recorded by the Fitzgerald with amusement. The destroyer had been in international waters. The helicopter was transmitting on clear, unencrypted civilian and military emergency frequencies 121.5 MHz to 143.0 MHz VHF. All cataloged future engagements could be jammed in seconds. The destroyer's close-in weapon system could have destroyed the subsonic helicopter with ease. E.g., a 1.2-second 94-round burst from a 20 mm Gatling gun with 98% kill probability, but remained in standby as the threat was negligible. The USS Fitzgerald's three-layered defense doctrine long-range SM-2 media range SM point defense sea-whiz ensures the helicopter didn't even reach its outermost Zonia castle. Storming attempt thwarted from the parking lot.